we'll see how it goes. It's having a server connection issue, so never mind. But I will be recording this and sending the link up on YouTube for anybody that wants to check it out. Abdul, yeah, talking to you. Alright, so this is Krita again. I know I don't play with this round enough around with this one as much as I should, but so there we go. So pencil settings, kind of like this one. You got your sizes up here, opacity levels, all that other fun stuff. Different brushes, hand tool, which jumps to move things around. Now, when it says brushes, it usually means any of these things over here on the right: your paint brushes, your erasers, airbrushes, any of this fun stuff. So part of this one that I'm going to do today is laying out. Okay, actually drawing. A lot of people tend to want to draw a straight line, go straight from start to finish with these lines. It's not always the best bet. You can't get your shapes right. I mean, I tend to start really like holding, and I know this is digital, but same concept works in the real world. Barely hold it, barely, push it down. I want to just touch it. Same with a real pencil. Just barely touch it. Start shaping it out. Take your time. Then little lines to start shaping it out. As you shape it out more, you can press a little bit harder. It'll start to be a little bit more defined. Don't ever go for perfect right away. It doesn't happen. You can see I don't even draw a perfect circle. Most people don't. See, you just start pushing a little bit harder, going over it. And that's the basis for everything. Start lightly sketching in what you want, barely touching the object, the paper. Works the same in the real world. Barely touch your pencil. Start shaping it out lightly. Then you start to see your form start to take shape. Whatever form that is that you want to draw. No idea what I'm drawing here, so I'm just going to have a little bit of fun. And it's not always perfect. Start to get the idea. Just a little bit rounder. See, curves don't happen right away with one line. Just gotta take your time and shape it. Yeah, that looks kind of funky, but yeah, it'll do. Let's see. Oh, that's what else I was going to go. So, if you're having issues with your settings um, in your application bar, you should have whatever device you're using should have properties thing. I'll bring this over so you get a good idea. Mine's Wacom, but yours might say something different, but it's gonna look very much the same. You're going to have device that you're using, your tools, which is your pad and your pen. Now to adjust this stuff on your pad, to adjust your tips and stuff, you want to go here. Where it says soft, that means if you barely touch the paper, it's going to leave a mark. Go hard, got to push a little bit harder to get the full mark that you want. I prefer to lean more towards firm. That way I can barely touch and leave a light mark instead of a heavy mark. I'll give you an example here. We'll go way down. We'll go to soft. Minimize that. See, I barely touched it. Now, pull that back up. We go firm. Same stroke. Barely see it. You gotta start pushing. I personally think that's better for sketching. Helps you build up your lines. It's a little bit low here. I should have a diagram right here with your grip pen. You can't see this, can you? Wonder why that is. That's a little funny. That's very funny. Actually, no. I got an idea. Give me 1 minute here. We go. There it is. Aha. I'll enlarge this for you so you can see now. Okay, that's a little bit better. So you get a box like this. It'll have all these little things up here. It'll say what your device is right here. My tools. Go here to change whatever hotkeys you got. Grip pen. Now, the grip pen buttons, that's right here. Clicks. Keyboard. You can change that to whatever you want on the keyboard. You can take your time, go through this, find out how you want it. This is your right click. There's even a setting where you can completely turn it off. On-screen shortcuts. So you can set these buttons to however you want. Tilt sensitive. I'm not sure on the individual device what yours will say, but this is where you do all those settings. Let's go back to here. Okay. So that's how that's done. The sketching thing is fun. Make this a little bit bigger. I always like to draw big to small. No, I have no idea what I'm drawing. We're just doodling. Just for fun, just to give you an idea. I like to go light. Once I find a shape I like, I start just sticking it out. Push a little bit harder. just for the fun of it. Hmm. Then you start to find your shapes. And that's really all there is to that. Now, we're going to get into something else. Add a layer here. Let's find our formula. So, is that it? Yeah. Go around an object. Yeah, this is kind of loose. I usually do this a little bit slower, but video here, so just kind of now to give you your object. And the cool thing about this, doing this, is you can go through here. Let's see if I got this right in krita. I'll pick this brush. See what's a good color. Purple. Yeah. That's right. That's right. I forgot. krita doesn't automatically default to your brushes. So, to create our selection here. Yes, I'm doing this kind of fast, and you might want to go a little bit slower than I am. So over here, it's still on the select tool. Back to your brush tool. You got your brush tool. You can start filling this bad boy in. What's cool, once you've got this selected, is nothing will come out the lines that you made. I can move them, and it's just going to stay in there. So I can make this brush as big as I want to fill in as fast as I want. Once again, that pressure sensitive. The harder you push, the more ink. This is kind of a blending brush, so it's taking some of the white. That's okay though. I'll take a little bit lighter color. Bring it down. Splash some in this area here. Maybe a little bit over here. Dab some right in there. Go here, find a darker color. See, we're just kind of picking spots right now. Go down. What's this? Oh, use this one. Oh, that's big. Let's see. See, that just kind of starts blending everything together. Don't be worried, as long as you got this up here selected, you're not going to go outside the line. Keep everything nice and tight. Yeah, I'm kind of speeding through this, but now it's still going to pick up white because you're playing with white and purple. Forget that. Whatever color you start with, it's going to pull towards the other. See? Ta-da. Remember correctly, we can go back to our select tool here. And then I think it's right click and deselect, and it turns it off. And we can go to this layer here that we did our sketch on, take it off, and yeah, not perfect, but it's an idea. So we can take another blur tool if we wanted to. See, it's still on select tool. There we go. We can start. Make sure we're on the right layer here. Start smudging out these edges if we wanted to. Give it kind of a really organic feel. See what this one does. Blurs the edges. But all these tools over here help you create shapes. You can take this right here, for instance. Boom. Okay. Back up to this. Let's say we use. Let's try something a little different. Black color. Orange. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Not gonna leave the box. Drop the size down a little bit. Just kind of wiggle some shapes in here. Something a little darker on this edge. Right. Go back to our smudge tools. Make that a little smaller. Not that small. Some of that white in there. That's what's gonna get our bad edge. So I've just created something like that. Just for the fun, we just give it a little texture. Okay. Back to our tool here. Okay, make sure we're on the select tool, right click, deselect, takes it off. Boom, almost a perfect square. So we're blurred it a little bit down here. And that's how you can keep a nice solid shape. Works good for circles and everything else. Just be careful of your edges. If you're going to do something like this, like I said, you can see the one little spot down here that actually kind of pulled the white into the orange. There is masking. I'm not sure how masking works in this, but when you mask an object, it keeps it solid. It works just like in the real world, where you lay down masking tape, whatever. It's going to keep the paint from getting on there or in a certain area. Alright, so that's one. Let's see. Let's add another layer here and have some fun. Brushes. Oh, there we go. Like krita, like I said, you got to watch your mess with your pressure sensitives on your settings for your device. This looks like a fun marker. The harder you push, the darker the color. The lighter you push. I'll come like that. That'd be interesting. creates that almost real texture. Huh. That's kind of gritty looking. I like that. See what this guy does. Play around with the different brushes. Like push it a little heavy, see what it does. Give you kind of a realistic brush stroke here. That's kind of cool too. Krita's come a long way. It has a paint roller. Wow. Okay. Let's see this bad boy. Oh. Well, it smells like a paint roller too. Oh wait, that's the cat box. I mean, start painting right back over the blue real lightly. Especially if you want to get some of those kind of cool wall style backgrounds. This is how you do that stuff. Just go lightly over it. You still see the blue underneath, but find a red. Or you can go with a green. Let's see how these mix together. Start blending some of this. Almost a watercolor effect, it seems like, gives it. Kind of cool. Be cool for a scene outside of a window or something. Well, see, it's those little things. Just got to sit there and play around with some of this for a while. Find out what works best for you. Try to find the feel that you want. Let's see what's this? Oh, I think I know what this is. Stretches. Check that out. It's not really painting, but it's stretching and blur the paint. Kind of mixing it together. It's pretty cool. Stretching that purple into the blue more. Some white in there. Huh. Definitely gonna have to play with this some more. I like that. That adds more of a dry texture to it. Like I said, always try going light, really like barely push on just to see what it does. It's harder. Let's see if I can bring up that screen one more time for you to give you a really good idea of what we're looking at. I'll go over this again. So, this right here, you should have in your settings, your apps, it should say whatever brand yours is, tablet properties. You open that up, you should get a menu thing like this. This is your settings. It's going to show you something the device is connected to, which will be your tablet or your Syntec or whatever. Give you options for your tools. This is the actual the function keys if you've got hotkeys on the side. This is your pen grip. Right here, when you click on the pen grip, it's going to give you the different options. You know, right here, it might look a little different, but the idea is the same. You'll have a double click distance. You might even be able to turn that off completely. Right here, like I said, you can change all the defaults. Your tilt sensitivity, so you can kind of tilt the pencil, the smudge if you needed to. That's what you like to do. Right here, applications. To add one, usually it'll have where you need to add or take one out. These are all different ones I use. I have different settings for some of these, so Bell, I have it set really, yeah, really soft. So get into that, dig into that, play around with the different stuff here. Calibration is really important. Actually, if you're drawing on a tablet, it's not so important. I'm drawing on a screen, so you have to make sure all your points are right. But if you're drawing on a tablet, it's not that important. Eraser, I don't even use the eraser. You might, if it's got that option. Close that for now. We'll go back to our screen here. So let's create another layer. At any time, you can go over here to your layer panel, turn off, start a new one, just like a flat scrap piece of paper. These look like different stamps down here. Cross-hatching stamp. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, what we got here? Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Hmm. Hmm. And there's all sorts of stuff to just play with. See what you like. It's kind of crazy. I'm not sure what I would use that one for, but let's see, what's this? Type of texture, just to make it easier. Huh. We even have cross-hatching patterns. See what this cross-hatching pattern is all about. I still prefer doing cross-hatching by hand, but I might do it a pinch for certain things, especially if I'm time constrained. But yeah, don't be afraid to experiment. I mean, you're not wasting time or money. You're learning. I like that. That's very nice. That's very calligraphy pen type. Huh. Oh wow. It's pretty cool. What's this one? Oh, okay. Not sure what that's doing, but there it is. Just slow it down a little. That's kind of interesting. So that was a little bit of, huh. That might be useful for something sometime down the road. Yeah, that's all these are, is stamps. You need to add texturing. If you drew a flower or a plant or something, throw in a bunch of this. Just go light, go dark. Maybe mix it up with some brown in there. Back to a little bit lighter. Boom. Got some moss. Quick and easy. Huh. Okay. Well, anybody check this out, let me know. And hopefully that'll help.